The red light is back on in the booth, and the Monster Energy Cup cars get ready to boogie tonight in the Simulation Stock Car Association. Scaling the walls here in the Empire State, we get set for almost 150 miles of simulated NASCAR excitement that'll be coming at you live on GSRC. Hello, and welcome aboard as we count down to green for the AdPro 360 Cup Series tonight from Watkins Glen International. Way up in the press box to bring you all the action, yours truly, Sean Ambrose, and tonight, my very special guest, Samuel Ryman, filling in for Tanner this week. Also down on pit road for us tonight, we got Taylor Burris. He'll be checking in with us, and we'll be checking in with him and keeping all of the action in order down there on the pit lane. In the director's chair, over there is the one, the only, and in charge, Joe Peak, armed with cameras, located Ames, Steamy and Streamy award-worthy minutes as GSRC will bring you all the storylines and all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the simulated NASCAR Cup racing that will immediately follow. Sam, before we talk about the track tonight, let me tell our viewers that this race is being brought to you thanks to Paradigm Technology. Paradigm leverages creative and development talent throughout the country in order to achieve the greatest level of success for their clients. Led by CEO and founder Donnie Hyatt, along with a team positioned around the globe in places like Florida, Georgia, New York, Colorado, Washington, Utah, Virginia, Louisiana, India, France, and more, Paradigm brings the most up-to-date and on-demand access and attention to their clients' needs, allowing them to achieve the most innovative, up-to-date success with all of their projects. Find out more about them at pdc.technology, or you can go to Paradigm Development, all one long word there, paradigmdevelopment.net. Sam, this track has an absolute plethora of history. Why don't you help everyone watching get up to speed here tonight?
Yeah, Sean. As far as road courses go, we've seen a lot more coming to NASCAR recently. However, this one and Sonoma Raceway are two that the series currently races on that have the most amount of history with stock cars. I would say this tends to be a little more one of the more popular road courses out there, especially for stock car racing. You have long straights that create overtaking opportunities that are hard to come by at Sonoma. You have that inner loop, and there is always drama there. So even though there's actually only 8 turns on this rather basic cup configuration when you look at the map, there is plenty that can happen here. Plenty of good overtaking opportunities, plenty of places also for the drivers to screw it up. 2.45 miles, so just a tick under 2.5 miles in length. And we also have our kilometer conversions there down in the bottom right corner for our European viewers. And we have a lap guide of how to get around here, so sit back for the next 75 seconds and ride on board the GSRC Monster Energy Cup Series Generation 6 Chevrolet.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Chevy SS, so let's do a lap around Watkins Glen. Coming down to turn 1, this is a great place to try to make a pass. Just be careful not to overshoot it. The downhill braking zone is going to make it easy to come in too hot, but you do have a lot of paved runoff to save you. From there, you start to climb the S's, where you'll have to carefully balance the throttle while trying to carry your speed as much as possible. Getting a good run out of the last right-hander of this set will be critical to both attack and defense. And as you fly down the high-speed backstretch, you'll see why. You gotta whoa up the car for the inner loop, which is a popular overtaking spot. But be wary of trying to go through there too wide, because that can wind up in disaster in a hurry. After that, it's easy for the car to come around as you transition into the carousel now. Amjad did a good job of holding on to it, but this nearly 180-degree corner almost requires you to drive it like an oval with its banking. The main thing to focus on is getting the launch off of there, because you've got another long stretch up to Indianapolis. The braking into this penultimate corner is going to be your last best place to try to pass someone. But this left-hander is deceptively quick. There's a groove at the bottom of the banking you need to make sure and get your car into. Then, real quick, switch sides to set up for the final turn. Once again, tuck it right up to that curbing on the inside and make sure not to slide off into the tires to your left. Get the power down as soon as you've got some grip and you've finished your lap around Watkins Glen.
And that's how you get around the Glen in the GSRC Chevrolet Gen 6 tonight, and then qualifying just about to get underway. It's an open qualifying session tonight, not like we're used to seeing here in the AdPro Cup Series. Tonight, everybody have at it. Get as many laps as you can in 10 minutes, and best lap gets to the front. So there'll be no reverse order for practice when everybody goes out. They are all going to get out there and what now looks like a race situation. But again, open qualifying for 10 minutes. Now, since they just got started, nobody's got a lap in yet. Let's go ahead and jump on to the driver's standings here this season. Sam, only 3 races left before we get to the playoffs after tonight. Pulling up the points, though, before last round, Justin Bolton's win at New Hampshire pushed most everyone down a spot in the standings. Bolton has since been removed from the playoff eligibility, basically because he's not going to be able to commit to running most of the races for the rest of the season. So everybody returns up a spot in the standings. Now, Bolton does join Jeremy Allen and William Roberts as drivers once locked into the playoff spots, thanks to wins to later be removed from the points race. So that's good. Everybody else still has a chance to fight here to get in. Now, this leaves, once again, only 4 drivers locked in the playoffs right now. Farnyards, Dylan Jones, David Washington, and Ryan Hill. Alan Elwood is the only driver with a playoff point without a win. Now, despite his recent troubles at 274 points above the cut line, Farnyards seems a lock to win the 15 playoff points awarded to the regular season winner. Now, his nearest competitor is currently Jones and Elwood, but over 100 points behind. So it's not even a factor right now with 4 races, including tonight left. Now, the departure of Bolton from the standings makes room for Jesse Abraham to slip up above the cut line. William Locklear is just 33 points below that cut line, with Ellery Queen 102 points away. The time running out, Sam. And then we wrap up with the points. Why don't we talk about the event details here this evening?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, Sean, it is crunch time in the regular season. Round 14 of 17 before our 7th round of playoffs. That will take us to the end of the year. Man, it's July already, Sean. I just got recovering from my Christmas spending last year round. No, I'll have to ask Santa to help me out this time, boy. All right, these are the Gen 6 Cup cars that they are racing out here today. The fixed setups, but this fixed setup only has an 80% fuel load, and that will create some strategy today. We'll get to that in just a few minutes here. Likewise, there's an allotted amount of tires for these drivers. However, with this being a road course race, the only 2 cautions you should see tonight are the ones to end the 2 stages. So no one, I should imagine, will have a problem running out of tires, because they can all plan their strategy ahead of time. They know when those 2 cautions are going to fall, and they know how they're going to want the best come down pit road and make it to the end of the race. If you cause 2 wrecks during the race, you will be disqualified. And normally we would see green, white, checkers. However, Sean, unless the track is absolutely blocked going up the S's with 4 laps to go, I don't think we'll see green, white, checkered.
Yeah, it's not going to be a factor this evening. Things a little bit different here. We've got to turn left and right on the road course here at the Glen. Sam, qualifying underway. In fact, only 6 minutes left now. We've got laps on the board. Dylan Jones is the provisional pole sitter right now, just 23 100ths ahead of Ryan Hill. A 114 flat is what's got our front row right now, Sam, and I got to tell you, that's a pretty blazing fast time, considering it's 103 degrees on track. It's blistering out there right now.
Yeah, it's really not that hot ambient temperature. It's in the the high 70s, which I guess is quite hot for New York. But the main thing is it's the afternoon. It's late in the day, so in this iRacing sim world, the sun has been beating down on the track all day long. The cars have been running around the track for 50 minutes during practice, and now in a 10-minute qualifying session. So the track temperature has picked up a little bit. However, as you mentioned, that really doesn't seem to have affected Dylan Jones. His qualifying time of a 1:14.007 is faster than any time we saw turned during practice. And Andrew Vineyards, who was second fastest in practice right now, he's only been able to find a 1:14.6 out there. But here he comes. He's coming to the line. Let's see if he can pick it up.
Yeah, it could be. Could be maybe not his last chance, but one of his last chances here. And let's see how it gets across the line. Farnyards. It's a good lap, Sam, but it's not good enough. It got him up to fourth.
Yeah, almost looked like he kind of aborted it out of the last turn there, the way he pulled over the pit wall. He's running out of time to get another time lap in, but he does have enough time to do that. But when you enter the dying 4 minutes of the session, you do have to consider the stopwatch.
David Washington just goes to third, Sam. That's a nice lap for Washington. That was a 1:14.1. He's the only one that's gone 1:14.1.
And I love the US history lessons we get during these AdPro series of broadcasts. Because what we have Regan out there, we have we have Jackson, we have Washington. I don't see Eisenhower though. We have Eisenhower over in the Challenger series, not Cup.
Ike's not here tonight. Yeah, no, we don't have Ike on the track with us. Well, Jones just turned another lap. Same. It was another 1:14 flat, an 0.32. So he really his pace up there right around that 14.007 that he set to put it on the pole. But still, several drivers on track chasing. Now with just over 3 minutes left to go, there's still time to get a couple laps in here, Sam.
Yeah, need to make a note here, Sean. We mentioned Andrew Vineyards a little bit ago, and the fact that he's down there in sixth in qualifying right now. As we see a spin out the final turn, that wouldn't be surprised if that happens to a driver during the race today as well. Vineyards won Sonoma earlier this season, and him being second fastest in practice, that's why I'm thinking that number 88 machine needs to really try and pick it up here in closing moments.
And Dylan Jones got out of the way. He saw Farnyards coming. They may have communicated on the radio. I'm not sure, but Farnyards on a burner right now. This could be the one. No, not so much.
And I don't think he'll have enough time for another one now, Sean.
Don't think so. I don't think so, Sam. He's going to try. He's coming out of the pits again. I don't think he liked the way he got his entry going into the carousel there, and he backed out of it quick. Now he'll have some draft to maybe help him here up the back stretch and get this lap started, but he's still got, this is an out lap. He's still got to come all the way around and start that next lap.
And there's Ryan Hall, currently the driver second. He just pulled off there, so he's not going to be able to beat Dylan Jones. We're watching the number 7 here of Justin Bolton. He is currently third. But his 1:14.1 that he's ran in qualifying so far, Sean, is 0.2 faster than what he managed in practice. So I don't know how much more he has in it.
Well, we're going to find out here as he makes his way around. He's out of the SCs. He's on the back straight, making his way into the bus stop here. See kind of momentum he can get to the bus stop. Boy, that looks like a pretty clean line through there, Sam, and you got to like that. He's keeping it nice and tidy there in the carousel. Boy, glued to that yellow line. That's really, really where you want to be for good traction and a nice run.
2 turns left to go. This tricky left-hander. Been a little while since Watkins Glen was scanned, so that's why you still see the gravel trap on the exit of turn number 7 there. Turn number 8. This has always been a tricky turn, not a whole lot changed yet. Bolton, across the line, 45 seconds left to go on the clock. Not able to improve.
Hey, looks like Ryan Hill's going to get one more run at it here, and Hill going to get it up through the S's here, and he's got several cars in front of him, all getting what look to be their last laps in now. Alan Elwood, Kyle Kammer, Justin Bolton going for another one. Bolton just went off course, though. That lap's not going to count. Last chance for Farnyards here on screen, Sam.
About to come through the final turn. You watch the countdown clock in the top left corner of your screen. Checkered flag is out. Farnyard's on the loud pedal. He's currently in 7th. Even if he doesn't get pole, he's going to want to pick it up. He does. 5th place.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Washington coming around to complete his last lap now.
I've always loved that calls like paint.
Yeah, that's a great one. He was a little loose off there. He's going to shut it down. Bolton's going to come around, though. What's this going to do for Bolton? Can he crack it?
Wow, he improved his time a lot, but no position, Sean. Top 3 covered by half a tank.
Wow, really, really solid effort there. Sam, I think we can go ahead and do it. I feel pretty good about our poll. We've still got a couple cars out there. Daniel Jackson.
I think that was it, Sean. He didn't pick it up. He's in 14th.
Yeah, okay.
The only other driver is Bolton.
All right, well then the round 14 winner of the Sim Speed Shop Pole Award is going to be Dylan Jones. Jones puts down a 1:14.007, and he's going to take home that award this week. Now, for every 2 poles, a driver will earn $5, and the driver with the most poles at the end of the season, Sam, they're going to get themselves $20 courtesy of simspeedshop.com, a great place to order custom button boxes as well as buy and sell used equipment. For more information, go to simspeedshop.com. You can also find them on Twitter, and I believe they've got a Facebook page as well. So there you go, and congratulations to Dylan Jones. It's time to get to the grid, Sam. Let's do it. All right, and Dylan Jones and Ryan Hill will fill out that front row. Justin Bolton, David Washington in row 2. Andrew Farnyards, Gabe Wood, going to be right there in row 3. Row 4, Andrew Payne and Kyle Kammer. Row 5, Gary Sexton, Richard Regan Jr. Sam?
Yeah, and starting 11th place is Ethan Moore, Jesse Abraham alongside him, Josh Bromwell and Daniel Jackson on row 7, Windy Locklear and Ray Richard behind them, Judd Danielson, Mark McFadden, the last 2 were times. And I'm going to quickly round these off, Sean. Louis Malso, Kevin Feddy, Eric Stanford, Alan Elwood, and Ellery Queen, because I'm really confused here. The pace car is in pit road. Are we about to see a standing start?
We are, and I can only imagine that maybe somebody got that wrong in the setup of the race. But you know what, Sam? I'll take it. Here we go. Let's get ready. We've got a little bit less than a minute. The cars all still coming to the grid here. Oh, boy. And, Sam, the thing to really, really pay attention to is, of course, spinning your tires here. This could get very, very messy. Again, we've got 23 cars on the grid, or at least most of those 23 here on the grid. I think right now we've got 22. Still waiting for Kevin Fetty to get in his car. But, Sam, well, if you believe in anything, you might want to pray to it right now. Here we go. The lights are up, and we're away here in the Paradigm 150.
No, they're doing a control pace lap and no pace
they
car.
are.
We had to be prepared, Sean. I was wondering if that would be going on behind the scenes.
Was that the most exciting non-start you've ever heard in your life? I mean, boy, I ramped up a pace lap like no one ever has. Hey, listen. Eat your heart out, whatever broadcaster names are escaping me right now. That really threw me off, man. No pace car on the track. Obviously, they knew what was going on behind the scenes, so they're going to do this the smart way, Sam. Everybody going to take that pace lap around, and then they'll cut them loose as they come out of turn 8.
Now, this changes strategy a little bit, so I'll hand it down into the pits to our pit reporter, Taylor Burris. Taylor, we're thinking, even though this first stage was only 10 laps, we wouldn't be surprised to see some cars come in.
No, we wouldn't. It would be actually quite shocking if we didn't see someone try to split the stages up. We'll probably be keeping an eye on some of the front runners as they might try to come in around 5-6 laps to go, at least before that 2 lap. As we get a notification, it's going to be 11 laps for stage 1. So we'll have to definitely be keeping an eye on these drivers, as they might try to split the stages and maybe even skip making a pit stop in stage 2.
All right, and there's the race analysis right there. 50 laps tonight, 10 laps for the first stage. Yes, we're stage racing. 15 laps for the second stage, and our final stage tonight, 25 laps. It's about 100, just under 123 miles, but it's still the Paradigm 150 because it's almost 150. So anyway, Sam,
race car is off, Sean. Oh wait,
yeah. Sam, I'm never gonna live that down. Here we go. Into turn 7 now. Everybody making their way through here, getting settled, getting ready. Last time to check the wheel. Check the belts if you got them. Because here we go. And Dylan Jones is going to let it go out of turn 8. Engines are wound up, heading down the front straight. We head for the 90. Ryan Hill's going to be the one that runs out to an early lead here. Already challenging in the 7 to Justin Bolton down on the inside. He gets to the right rear quarter panel of Dylan Jones. Jones with a nice run out of the 90 though. Takes his spot back. Ryan Hill in trouble. Here comes Dylan Jones following him up the S's. All over the bumper.
I think Ryan Hill was asked to give that position back, Sean. He pretty much jumped the start over pole sitter Dylan Jones. He had to yield the position, but now he's got to worry about Bolton behind him.
Yes, he does. And Sam, I've just been informed from race control that we will go to lap 11 to the end of stage 1 instead of 10 because of the pace lap there. The stage 2 will remain unchanged though. And here we go, still up front. Dylan Jones leads Ryan Hill off to a great start as he comes around to complete the first lap, heading down into turn 7. Good braking zone here. Really got to get the car settled, let it turn in. And back to the throttle just real quickly until you get to turn 8. Jones making it look easy. Already here, a couple laps in the books and leading early here. Not much of a gap, only about a half a second. Really good battle going behind it, Bolton and Hill. But it was Farniars and Wood fighting right now, Sam.
Yeah, Farniars comes out on top of this. Very calm opening lap for these drivers. Watkins Glen is known for having a tendency to produce big wrecks.
Oh, Wood is loose in the S's.
And that could have been one right there. Wow. Nice save.
Wow, that was a great save, Sam. Whoa,
but they wrecked behind and they're going to throw a caution for it. Alan Elwood, and I wonder if this was a reaction to the wreck going on ahead of them.
Huh. Well, let's watch the replay. Let's see how this all developed here. I think what probably happened behind was everybody checking up here, trying to avoid getting in to what was happening in front of him here with Wood going around. But I got to be honest with you, Josh Bonwell lost it all by himself in the 56, and then everybody stacks up behind him, Sam, so it had nothing to do with Gabe Wood in front of him.
I gotta confess, I did see Josh have been sliding around a little bit in practice, so could have just been a little bit of a driver error, still trying to get used to the setup under him. Looks like he clipped a little bit of the grass going up the S's, and that's just the worst place to lose it. And because of those close walls, the proximity of the walls, the blindness of the hill, the crest at the top of the hill there, and the speed that the cars are carrying, the race control just said, you know what, this is going to get real ugly real quick. Let's throw the caution. And we've had a couple of beat-up cars down in the pits as a result, Taylor.
Yeah, I'm looking at Alan Elwood right now. He's trying to get back around due to the fact the pits are closed, but his car is completely damaged. No nose, no hood, so he's going to be spending some time on pit road as we look through, as Ray Richer is also on pit road. Unfortunately, it looks like his day is also going to be done, as well as also Josh Bonwell has pulled it behind the garage.
You know, Sam, we said at the beginning of the race we didn't expect any yellows except for the end of the stages. Race control reserves the right to throw that caution. They obviously saw a really good need to do so there. So despite our notes tonight about, there not being any cautions in play, obviously race control was all over that and made a very wise move right there. So as we have the we do not have the Ford Mustang leading the field tonight. We have the roof pace car. It's a road race, Sam, so I guess that's fair to have a Porsche on track.
Yeah. You might be about to mention this, Taylor. Do you think we're going to see cars pit here?
That's what I was getting ready to say. We might now, since we have a caution, might be seeing some cars getting ready to pit. Waiting to see as the pace car is making its way around. They are currently about to hit pit road here in a few minutes, so waiting for the pits to open at the moment. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the leaders do.
I'd do it. There we go. About it.
Farners is playing with him there a little bit. We got a couple cars going in back there. I think I see is that Gary Sexton back there that pulled his car in.
We got Eric Stanford, Mark McFadden, and Alan Elwood that have pulled it into pit road. So we got 3 cars, and it looks like actually a couple of more. So we're picking up Gary Sexton as well, Jesse Abram. They all have come in. So some of these guys are going to go ahead and use this as an advantage. So it looks like a couple of guys are going to take 2 tires, some 4 tires, and of course some of them repairing the damaged cars from that incident. So a lot of strategy as Mark McFadden is now exiting off pit road. So looks like a good call for some of these guys, as we might see later on in the stage.
Now officially, Kevin Fetty did not start this race. So we had 22 take the green flag when we got started. Josh Bonwell. Josh Bonwell, unfortunately, after that incident there, he is out of the race. Also taking the car behind the wall. And, well, everybody else, as you were saying there, Taylor, trying to, at least the other cars affected, trying to get just a little bit more repair out of it before they absolutely have to get back out on track.
Yeah, Eric Stanford's coming back on track, and pit crew tried its best to get as much damage repaired, but it looks like it's going to be a long night for Eric, so we'll have to keep an eye on him and see how the car handles for him.
You know, Sean and Taylor, the only reason, as I think the pace car lights are going off, so I'll try and make this point short. The only reason I can see an advantage to this many cars staying out under this caution is if they're thinking this caution and the caution that ends stage 1 will save them enough fuel to make it to the end of stage 2 without pitting at all.
Yeah, Sam, you know what, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of these guys are cutting their car off, or at least putting it in a way to where they can save as much fuel as possible. So that could be a good idea as well.
Yeah, and you could definitely do that here. You can definitely save long pace lap. But the lights are off, and here we go. Pace car getting ready to peel off to the right here into the pits. Jones going to get under the sprint bridge first, and he is away. Dylan Jones screaming down into the 90. Justin Bolton hot on his tail. Ryan Hill, a little bit of sleep on the start. Boy, back behind in the field. They're going 3 wide into the 90. That can't be good, Sam.
No, normally it doesn't end well. Fortunately, this time it looks like an exception, although they're still side by side as they come up the hill and into the S's. We saw just a few moments ago how quickly that can go downhill.
Yeah, and was that... we got a car around Danielson.
He's off the racing line, though. They can keep this one green.
Danielson just started losing the tires under him, coming up the S's there. Very little grip there. Oh, and another car off. That's Andrew Payne going to the bus stop.
Yeah, we'll catch a replay of what happens to Danielson first, and then our director will pick up a replay of Andrew Payne. You'll see basically as a single car spin, although did he get a bit of help? I think he locked up the rear, Sean.
Yeah, I don't think he got any help on that one. I think you're absolutely right. Sam, I'm following Gabe Wood already. Gabe's already picked up 4 spots on the restart. He's got himself in the 9th. And he is tracking Ethan Moore. Moore off to a good start himself. He is up 3.
Sounds like the race officials have been a bit busy there, Taylor. Looks like a couple of drivers in trouble.
Yep, looks like William Locklear and Daniel Jackson have been black flagged with a pass-through penalty. Those guys changed the lanes before they crossed that start-finish line, so that's going to be a very tough penalty. The good news is it is a road course, so they can maybe not go a lap down possibly, but they got to definitely play their cards right now.
Hey, guys, up front, talk about cars that were in trying to get some help. Well, Dylan Jones is leading this race. They've already caught Alan Elwood, who is driving a Whelen Modified Tour car out there right now. He's got the 42 up there with no front clip left on it, basically. And, boy, they're going to catch him pretty quick. But Elwood sticking in this thing, it's a road race. You finish the race if at all possible. But as I said, Jones, Bolton closing on him very quick here.
Coming around to complete lap 7 of the 11 laps in this opening stage. Not a whole lot of green flag racing, but points on the line as Locklear and Jackson come into the pits to serve their penalty.
Yep, here they come down, and looks like they are set to go.
You know, David Washington is really close to losing this position. It's behind him. I'm sorry, Farnyar's with the move inside, going to the bus stop. He gets under Ryan Hill, able to get there first, and almost lost it off that first curb on exit.
Yeah, I think what we're actually seeing here, Sean, is Hill drop back through the field. I mean, he started second. We've seen very few laps of green flag racing, and he's already just dropped back to fifth. Meanwhile, Eric Stanford is off in the kiddie litter. And much like my cat, kicking that kiddie litter everywhere. Fortunately, hopefully, keeping most of it off the track.
Yeah, bringing that onto the track, and that's certainly not good. Dirties things up just a bit. And back up front, Bolton, Washington, Dylan Jones, or I'm sorry, not Washington, but Bolton and Jones clearing the lap traffic there of Alan Elwood. And now he has Washington behind him as he comes up to the S's. Looks like Washington will catch him in a good spot here, probably in the carousel once they get to the bus stop. Sam, do we have a battle for 6 going on between Regan and Cameron there?
We could, but it might have already happened, honestly. Regan has been working his way up, Cameron pretty much where he started. So I think what we're really seeing here, Sean, is 46 on the move.
Boy, and Regan was awful good last night at New Hampshire in the Challenger Series, and boy, found some really, really hard luck there towards the end. Great pace right now, up 4 spots, but I'm telling you, Cameron is still challenging here, Sam. Cameron's right to the rear bumper. Oh, man.
And these two are about to have to get by the damaged lap car of Alan Elwood. Meanwhile, Gary Sexton and Ellery Queen have both gone off at turn 7. They rejoined, but they lost, well, they didn't lose any positions, just a lot of time.
Oh, time is everything. Now we are on lap 10. Now remember, we're going to lap 11 for the end of this first stage. And it's Dylan Jones in command. Already got about a second lead on Justin Bolton. Bolton's been strong here so far. No real issues for him. A little bit further back there to Washington and Farnyards. And Ryan Hill kind of on track all by himself right now in 5th. So that's your top 5 as we get ready to complete stage 1.
Well, I can't expect with the 5-6 laps of green flag racing we've had in this stage, Sean, that there would be a lot of comers and goers during the race, but we are getting an impression up front of what we might see later. Oh, big moment, big crash. William Locklear, hard in the wall exit in the inner loop. He's stuck there. He's going to have to take a tow.
Oh, man, and that was a hard hit, Sam. He drove it right into that barrier. We're gonna go to it now on the replay. And was it curb? I think it was a combination of curb and maybe trying to get back to the throttle a little bit too soon, Sam, but that did not end well for William Locklear. That could end his night potentially. No telling how much damage that did to the actual motor of the car. You know, yeah. Bolton is closed on Jones here, Sam.
And just 3 turns to go until the end of the stage. Now, that being said, I don't know if they'll throw the caution as soon as the leaders cross the line, or if they'll wait until the driver in 10th place, who is Luis Salmaso, who's actually about 15 seconds behind these guys. If they wait for him to cross the line before they throw the caution, Jones is going to have to do everything to stay ahead of Bolton, because, as I mentioned, not a whole lot of racing early on here. But if anything, we've seen an indication that these 2 drivers are going to be threats for the victory all night long tonight.
All right, and Dylan Jones is going to win stage 1. Pick up his 10 extra playoff points there. Justin Bolton going to finish 2nd, and the caution is out. They did that when Gabe Wood came through there in 8th.
All right, well, the pits won't be open this time of course. So let's give you a rundown of the top 10. Dylan Jones, as you mentioned. Sean taking the stage win ahead of Justin Bolton. David Washington, Andrew Fanyas, Ryan Hill, Richard Regan Jr. in 6th place. Carl Kemmer and Gabe Wood, 7th and 8th. Ethan Moore and Luis Salmaso rounding out the top 10.
All right, and Sam, let's finish that. Let's go through the field here. Gary Sexton, 11th. Ellery Queen, 12th. Jesse Abraham, 13th. You know, Ellery Queen is up 10 spots to that 12th spot. Eric Stanford in 14th. Daniel Jackson, 15th. 16th to Mark McFadden. Andrew Payne, 17th. Last car on the lead lap. Then you got to go back to Judd Danielson, who's currently a lap down. And Alan Elwood still out there hanging on, unfortunately. William Locklear, Ray Richard, Josh Bonwell have all taken their cars behind the wall and are done for the night. And there you go at the end of stage 1. And Sam, next time they come around, the pits will be open. Leaders will definitely...
I'm not sure about that, Sean. Because they threw the caution very late on. Remember, they waited for Gabe Wood in 8th place to cross the line. The drivers just did a whole lap to catch up with the pace car. They only just caught the pace car. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain they can open the pits at the end of this lap. We could be in for a lengthy caution here.
You know what? That's a good point. We could be in for a lengthy caution here. You know what? Well, okay. So that might change things a little bit. Now, I do know the fuel run about 18 laps. You're really... the window's 16 to 18, Sam. You got to be a little tricky, and you got to be a little light on the throttle in a few places to make a full 18 laps. But I ran a practice race with these gentlemen Sunday night, and 18 was the magic number for a few guys, and a couple of guys had trouble making it to 18. So if you're a masher, like our good friend Amjad Yaman, who really likes to get on that pedal and keep his foot on it a lot, then, well, you could have a problem making those 18 laps. And right now they're working lap 12. Our leaders are all, let's see, all the way back to 17th right now. They're all working lap 12 on their tires and fuel.
All right. Well, just in case they do decide to open pit road this time by, here the field comes. Taylor, do you expect any of our leaders coming into the pits?
Yeah, we might see a split decision from some of these guys. Looks like we might get ready to come to the pit road entrance, and it looks like Dylan Jones and the field are going to be coming down pit road. This is definitely going to be a key factor for a lot of these drivers, as pretty much the entire field, except for maybe a couple of drivers, are coming down pit road. So we'll have to see who wins the race off pit road. Everyone's getting into their pit box. Dylan Jones getting that first pit stall. It's going to be quite easy for him to try to get into his pit box. Ryan Hill also squeezed it, actually missed his pit box, having to go back in reverse. Several other cars missing their pit box, such as David Washington. And they throw the caution. David Washington now is the first car off of pit road. We're waiting to see Dylan Jones is second, followed by Justin Bolton, Andrew Farinaz, and then Richard Regan round out your top 5 drivers coming off pit road.
Well, it was definitely a race, Taylor, and well, Dylan Jones, of course, going to be the first out, but not first on track now. Things have shuffled up just a bit. It's going to be Gary Sexton, Daniel Jackson, Andrew Payne. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Sexton's doing. He's working on lap 9 right now on his fuel and on his tires, and he's not going to make it to the end of the next stage.
I think he will.
You know, Sam, I said earlier that we went 11 laps in the first stage, and stage 2 would be unaffected by that. Now, looking at the laps remaining, you know what, Sam? He may have a shot to make it.
Yeah, we're trying to work out what happened to David Washington in the pits. He came down pit road, but I'm not sure he ever made it to his pit stall.
Sam, I'm here, and he backed up a couple times and then just said, "Forget about it. I'm out of here."
So are we going to have to see Washington pit again? Meanwhile, a penalty report, Taylor?
Yep, we got a couple of drivers who drove through too many pit stalls on pit entry. Looks like Richard Regan Jr. and Justin Bolton. They have both been given EOL penalties. So we're going to also take a look on see if David Washington is going to be coming back through on pit road as he's coming around to the start-finish line. It looks like, yes, he is. He's coming back on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, that's the prudent thing to do. He'll still remain on the lead lap. He's just going to have to take his lumps here, but you can't get the second stage started without any fuel. Again, it's going to be 15. Well, it's supposed to be 15 laps, and it's going to be less than that once we get restarted here. I think that Sam, what are we looking at? It's going to be what, about 8 laps to go, 9 laps to go.
It's going to be a 10-lap stint because the second, even though they pushed the end of stage 1 back a lap because of the pace lap, because of the grid thing being a bit mixed up, stage 2 has been kept at the same length. They're saying stage 2 will finish at the completion of lap 25. Well,
right, okay.
The lights are off on the roof pace car, so as they come around to complete lap 15 this lap, they'll restart with basically 10 laps left to go in the stage, which is what stage 1 was meant to be. And so what we've got here is the top 3 cars on track, I believe, all pitted under that first caution. And Dylan Jones, Fanyars, Wood, Hill, etc. have all got to find a way by them. But that might not be that easy, Sean. I mean, yes, there's passing opportunities here at Watkins Glen, but Sexton and Payne are no slouches. They qualified in 9th and 7th, respectively. Jackson qualified 14th, so we'll see if he's able to hand it out up front there.
Well, I'll tell you this. I talked to Gary a little bit today and even yesterday, and he has found speed here that he didn't think he had in him. Gary, with clean air in front of him, may be dangerous here. This may be a great opportunity for him to get a stage win. It's going to be a bit of a sprint, Sam. Like you said, 10 laps, and Gary's on point. We are ready to go. The lights are out on the pace car. They're just going through turn 7 now. Time to get restarted here in the Paradigm 150. A little bit of a lengthy break there, but we are ready to go racing again. Single file restart. The pace car is off. Sexton is on the hammer. Daniel Jackson restarting in second. Jackson a bit slow on the restart. Here comes Andrew Payne looking to the inside down to the 90. He's going to take it. Great move for Payne. He doesn't waste any time. Jackson getting shuffled all the way to the outside. Dylan Jones comes through. But Sexton gets up through the S's first and looking smooth here early.
Yeah,
Sexton,
a lot of drivers on new tyres trying to snake their way by Daniel Jackson, who's off the pace as they came up the S's. A couple of close calls back there, but so far clean, although Ryan Hill now looking down the inside of him.
And it's Sexton with the old tires that gets off to a great start. Payne under pressure from Dylan Jones, though, just behind him. Payne trying to keep the car down on the inside. He can't. It's pushing. Dylan Jones coming up the inside.
And this is the worst thing for Sexton to see, is Dylan Jones already up into second place. I have a feeling that 16 car's coming. Luis Salmaso is being handed the drive through there, Taylor.
Yes, he is. He passed through too many change lanes before the start-finish line. So these guys got to be careful with these restarts of making sure that they stay in line. Also, a couple other penalties, such as Mark McFadden has been penalized for driving through too many pit stalls. So people need to just be patient and focus on those restarts.
Oh boy, as battle for the lead here as they head up into the SS Taylor. Oh, look at Farnyards. They're all over the rear wing there of Dylan Jones. Wing, Wicker. It's all the same thing. Jones now trying to be aggressive here and get up alongside of Gary Sexton as to get out of the S's. Look at that move by Dylan Jones, man. 2 wheels in the grass.
And aerodynamics might not make a huge difference for these stock cars at road courses, but it does make a difference. And with 2 cars in front of him, I think Andrew Fanyar's lost the downforce on the nose going up on the S's. His car pushed, and that stopped him from getting the run on the 2 cars ahead of him. So new leader, Dylan Jones, and Fanyar's looking for second now.
Yeah, and he's going to get it. Farnyard's going to make the move in turn 7. Sexton's going to let him go. Now, Sexton's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to give up any more spots, and he's already given up.
That's Ethan Moore off at the back there. He was running 7th. He's now dropped outside the top 10.
Moore struggling to get the car back on track, but he does. Abrams able to get around. Moore back to the lead. Or I'm sorry, they're on Ryan Hill. My bad. Hill in a battle.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Things getting dicey around 10th place. Moore struggling for grip, more or less. Probably still got some grass or gravel on these tyres. Regan and Cameron just got by going up the S's. A pack of cars there as they come out onto the back straight. Remember, this is pretty much a sprint race to the end of a second stage.
Yeah, Dylan Jones is winning this sprint race, too. He's already opened up a 2.5 on Farnyards up at the front. But this train of cars here is the one to watch. Richard Regan and Ryan Hill just getting by Andrew Payne. Sorry to jump around there, but that was a battle up front. That was to get up into 4th place for Hill. Now Payne under attack. Justin Bolton on the inside. Turn 7, he's going to get it. Payne all of a sudden dropping like a rock through the field here, Sam.
Yeah, those old tyres, and now that things have calmed down behind him and all these drivers on new tyres have gotten single file, they're just picking him up one at a time, and that's not good news for Payne. And the driver who just got by him, Justin Bolton, let's not forget, he was giving Jones a run for his money up front early on. Now he easily takes 4th place from Hill. Hill kind of gifted that to him. So Bolton, he's not going to be able to catch Jones during this stage, but Wood and a bit of contact back there.
It's Cameron Abraham making contact there, coming up to the S's, Sam. Oh boy, getting a little dicey back there.
Oh, and off. Andrew Payne has gone off, and he's going to pull it to a halt in the inner loop before he gets going again. And he's going to rejoin right in the middle of this giant pack we were just watching.
Oh boy, watch out. Oh man, Abraham does a... I'm sorry, that was the 46 of Richard Regan, and almost clobbered him in the door.
And Gary Sexton, who's also on those old tyres on that alternate strategy, he just yielded the position to Ryan Hill for 4th place. So Bolton has gone from 5th to 3rd in 1 lap. Hill has gone from, Hill stays 4th, and Sexton has gone from 3rd to 5th. Regan off, back on, no harm, no foul.
Boy, and Regan, I hate to say, he almost seems to be struggling here. But you know what? I think the line starts to the left, the guys that are struggling here right now, Sam. This set, it is, again, a fixed setup. It's the iRacing default fixed setup for Watkins Glen. And it is a tough set to drive. Car constantly skating all over the place.
Well, that's not the setup fault, Sean. That's putting an oval car on the road course fault. I mean, it's great fun. You know, it can be done. And Dylan Jones is proof of that. Gabe Wood being proof of that right now. He's trying to take fifth from Gary Sexton, and he gets fifth from Gary Sexton.
I think Gary's playing a long game here. He's going to be all right. Ellery Queen right now under threat from Kyle Kammer. That's a battle now for 7th place.
What a race by Ellery Queen. I mean, he hasn't ran a lap time faster than a 1:17 all race long. That is not fast by any means compared to his competition. But yet somehow he's gone 22nd to 7th.
Slow and steady wins the race, Sam. Queen just having a great run. That Camera's on the inside, but Camera not got enough momentum there to get into the 90. But I'll tell you what, Queen runs it out way wide there. That opens the door for Camera. Camera's got to back out of it. The car's starting to push on him. Oh, and it's side by side there for Jesse Abraham.
Oh. They made contact there, the worst part.
No.
Somehow they held on, and that caused Abraham to drop back, Sean.
Yeah, and now that might be opportunity for David Washington as he's tracking Ellery Queen right now. Washington looking, of course, to get back up to the front. He's still down 5 spots from where he started. He's still trying to get back to this field. And Sam, the stage is starting to draw to a close. It's Richard Regan Jr. into the bumper of David Washington, giving him a little bit of an assist. And now they're side by side heading down into turn 7. Watch out.
We've seen a few drivers go off into the gravel on the exit of that turn. Not going to happen this time by Ellery Queen, trying to take advantage of the drivers battling behind him to pull away and retain the 8th position, as Kyle Kammer has really checked out on all of these guys in 7th. The battle for 9th continues. Washington on the outside, Regan on the inside. Remember, stage points up for grabs here. Jesse Abraham just throws it in. It's got nowhere to go, though.
Yeah, this is really not where you want to be side by side, but Regan Jr. and Washington are going to throw it up in there anyway. Washington still has the edge as they get to the exit. Regan was just a little loose right there at the very end of the SSCA. Doesn't really cost him much time, but he's going to slide through. Watch out! Oh, boy, Jesse Abraham just narrowly avoids that.
Well,
Sam,
we say these
go ahead.
Set up, Sean. One thing you can play with, I believe, is the brake bias, and we've seen a couple of drivers, I think, put it a bit too far to the rear today.
Man, boy, you talk about a close call for Jesse Abraham. That's about as close as it gets. That's really, really great reaction by him. You know what? Ellery Queen, Sam, is still holding off David Washington here. I don't know how he's doing it. Washington's made just about every attempt imaginable at him. He's got a really good run here out of the 90. And the question is it good enough to get him here at the exit of the S's? And stay right in his tracks here. Washington almost looks like he's having to let up a little bit. He's right there to the quarter panel. No, he's going to slip it behind, gets a little bit of the grass. Yeah, the S's, the car got a little bit loose, and that's going to kill his momentum.
Behind these guys, Jesse Abraham had an off. We'd seen him just running out in 11th. He got run in turn 1. Ellery Queen with Washington, Regan all over the back of him as they go through the inner loop. The Queen was a bit offline, and that caused them to get bunched up.
Midst of a Coors Light sandwich here. Williams still trying to get by Ellery Queen, and I don't think he's going to have it here into turn 7. He doesn't. He's going to look. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. He slips it up the inside, and it's going to be 2 for 1 here, I think. Regan tries to go with him. Williams just gets away. Yeah, contact there, Sam.
Queen and Regan made contact. They both get away with it, but now Payne, who's dropped back through the field, when now he said, okay, I want to start going the other way now, because we've only got 2 laps left to go in this stage.
You almost get the feeling David Washington, Sam, was being held up as he starts to really distance himself. Now that battle for 10 is interesting, and boy, Richard Regan Jr. really losing contact between him and Ellery Queen. They're both off to the side, everybody getting by.
Caution
is out. Race control has thrown the caution here.
And that will probably be the stage-ending caution there, Sean.
Yeah, indeed. Now, here's the replay there. You see Regan going around. That contact with Queen, it just all starts with getting loose, and then they get together, and they just can't get out of it.
Okay, now, for clarification here, if pits are open at the end of this lap, which I believe they will be, the way this series determines the conclusion of the stage, as we get another view of what's going at the end there, when there's a caution, it's the timing of a caution. So the way in which the top 10 was at the time the caution came out is how they will award the points to complete stage 2. It won't matter if the leaders come in to complete lap 25 in the pits and, you know, the guy running in 11th place stays out and leads lap number 25. Too bad, buddy. You're not getting that stage point. Yeah. You know, it's the timing of a caution. Now, this, I think, Sean, is when we bring our good buddy Taylor down there in the pits back into this, because do you pit under this caution? I mean, you got to make one more stop anyway.
Somebody might. We might even see a couple of people just take fuel on this pit stop, but for the most part, probably the front runners might actually hold off on this pit stop, and maybe a couple of the ones running towards the back of the field might take this opportunity to maybe even leapfrog some of the drivers by making a pit stop right now. So time will have to tell as the pace car is leading them down towards the back half of the track.
Well, pretty interesting developments here. Obviously, that caution came at a good time. That'll end the stage here, Sam, and Dylan Jones going to take another stage win and another 10 points. Farnyards has been strong here through the first couple of stages. It's a good finish for him there in the stage. And Taylor, they're coming your way, buddy.
Yep, it looks like everyone's coming down pit road this time. Nobody's staying out. So this will be a interesting race off pit road as we see Dylan Jones leading them down pit road. Going to go into his box here momentarily. As we also see Farnyard, Bolton hit the pit box right now. Gabriel Wood is entering his box. All these guys making it best opportunity. Let's see if David Washington misses his pit box almost, but gets back into it. Ellery Queen has been disqualified from the race as David Washington's having the same problem again. Needs to work on his pit road entry, as looks like Dylan Jones is first off, followed by Farnyards, then Bolton, Hill, and Gabriel Wood will be your top 5 exiting off pit road.
Wow, and another good race off of pit road. And, well, I know what David Washington will be doing, and that's maybe a little practice. But you know what, Taylor, you talked about that disqualification. They were able to determine that contact was intentional, and per their rule book, that's DQ. Sam?
Look at what's behind the pace car. Ethan Moore. Taylor, Ethan Moore is going to be leading the field back to restart because he came into the pits with a couple of laps left to go in the stage. We didn't mention it at the time because he'd been running towards the back. And even though it's a strategy call that's got him good track position, everyone still has to pit one more time.
Yep, everyone does have to make that one more pit stop. Ethan Moore might try to do his best maybe add on a little less fuel, maybe add a little more fuel, depending on how well his crew chief calculates for him. He might even just do a fuel-only stop or a 2-tire stop. So we'll have to definitely be keeping an eye on Ethan Moore as we get closer to the end of this race and for the final pit stops.
I honestly think Ethan wanted to get the IRAPS Toyota a little bit of attention by doing that. And you know what? It's perfectly fine with me. So IRAPs look good going fast. That's what it says on the car. And, well, the 23 does look good. It's clean. It means he's managed this race pretty well here to get started. Yeah, he's been hanging back a bit, but Ethan in a great spot here as we get ready to restart this this race in stage 3, the last and final stage of the race. And Sam, it looks like we'll have about 24 laps to go. 24 full laps to finish this race when they get restarted.
Yeah, 23 actually. They've added a lap of caution here. Haven't fit. Yeah, not entirely sure why. I think they were trying to get the drivers back in order. Looks like Judd Danielson just went a lap down in the pits there, Taylor. I've noticed he's had a couple of spins out there today.
Yeah, he's had a really rough night getting involved with several accidents. Looks like he's got some damage on the right side nose of the car. Unfortunate night for him. Poor guy's been having a difficult night. So hopefully he might be able to come back out, finish out the race, get as many points as he can. But unfortunately, I don't see him breaking into the top 15 at this time.
And Sean, I want to go back on something I said earlier. Well, don't worry, we won't see a green-white checker tonight because they're only going to throw caution if a track really gets blocked. Well, twice tonight we have seen a caution for a crash, and honestly, neither time I can blame them. They've both been for incidents at scary portions of the circuit.
Yeah, well, in the S's, obviously, it doesn't get much scarier than it does through there. I mean, one car turned around blocks basically 80% of the track through there. Getting through one side to the next, left or right, I think pretty close to impossible. So, agreed, good call. A little surprised because, again, I didn't know they were doing that. So, apologies if we were a little caught off guard by that. But again, that was a good decision by them to throw the caution in both instances. And there's been a bit of attrition, but Sam, the truth is we've still got 15 cars on the lead lap, and well, that tells me we got 15 cars got a chance to win this thing.
And it begins now. Dylan Jones, one of the fastest cars all day long. Justin Bolton, I put him up there too. Can they get by Ethan Moore? Who can do it the quickest? Here we go, Sean.
Yes, we are. We're on our way here in the Paradigm 150 here at the Glen. Bolton screaming up the inside. Yes, already challenging Farnyards into the first turn. Dylan Jones gets away clean. Ethan Moore still in control here up through the S's.
That's exactly what Bolton had to do. Him and Jones. And Jones has lost it! Into the wall in the S's! Can he keep it in the grass? Stop it from spinning across. This is great news for Justin Bolton. He's now the fastest car out there running in second. He might be able to dispose of more soon. Jones able to get going again, but he's lost all that track position.
Yeah, and he's hurt the car, and the car not responding well here. Although he has seemed to regathered himself up as he holds it tight down into the carousel, but Jones got a lot of damage on the right side of his Ford. Battle for second, though, heating up. Barnyards, Bolton going at it.
One of our top 10 drivers in trouble, Taylor, Kyle Kemmer.
Yes, indeed. He got that penalty again where he passed before the start-finish line. These guys need to be careful with that, and it still looks like people are still trying to learn not to do that.
Few cars off in turn 7. Abraham McFadden and Jackson Ball get back on. We stay green. Moore still leading after a whole lap, Sean.
Yes.
I didn't expect that. Credit to him.
Yeah, big credit to him, but he was a little loose there out of the 90. That's okay. He keeps it under him. Getting through here, very, very tricky. You have to really manage the throttle up to the S's in this Cup car. And Justin Bolton going to get a run at him here, but he's going to run out of track when they get to the bus stop.
He's backing off. You know what? I wonder if Bolton's thinking of short pitting in a few laps' time when the pit... Oh, no, wait. Oh, just made a big mistake there.
He certainly did. That's going to get him out of the groove, but he gets back into it. And Bolton lets him go, Sam. I didn't really look very aggressive through there. Now he's going to be aggressive. Now he looks to get to the inside. He's in the inside of that left quarter panel. And he's going to take it going into 7. The 7 in 7. Moore looks to cross him over. No, he can't keep the grip there. It opens the door for Farnyards. Farnyards side by side in turn 8 with Ethan Moore. Moore going to drop the 3rd in 2 turns. Here comes Ryan Hill. Looking to drop him another one as they head down to the 1st turn. Hill going to try and get it done from the outside. Here comes Gabriel Wood. Oh, and Ethan Moore is loose. Oh, it just all goes bad in less than half a lap for Ethan Moore from the lead. Dropped to 5th.
But it took half a lap from him to go to the lead from 5th. What I'm impressed by, though, is in 2 laps, Justin Bolton has gone from 4th to 1st. He restarted 4th. He knew he had to get by Farnyards as quickly as possible. He did that right at the restart, got up to 3rd. He was given a gift when Dylan Jones buggered up the S's and dropped back in the field. That gave Bolton 2nd. From there, he just knew he had to take his time, get by Ethan Moore. He was able to do that in 2 laps. Justin Bolton has gone from running in 4th after an early bad pit stop to back in the lead of this race. And barring, well, let's be honest, there's 20 laps left. Anything can happen. Barring anything bad happening, things are looking in favour for the driver of that 7 car.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, if he doesn't have much traffic in front of him, it could be a smooth ride to the finish here. He is definitely outpacing his competitors right now. Farnyard's finding it very, very hard to make up any ground. Farnyard's got a mirror full of the Hill Coast Chevrolet, who is seemed to have kind of gotten things back together here, making his way up to the S's. Important to not let Farnyards get too far away, lose that toe. I believe he's already done it. And that's not going to be good there for Ryan Hill if he wants to stay on the podium, because Gabe Wood back here charging hard.
We go back to the battle for 9th place here, but as we jump back to this battle for 9th between Vegan and Payne, we went by the car running in 6th place. That's Dylan Jones. Credit to him, after knocking down the wall, not only has he regained control of that car, but he could be closing in on the top 5 still.
And Taylor, just go to you real quick. That damage on the right side, he could really, really be struggling with that thing, couldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Even though, like we said earlier, aerodynamics is not a major key, it still does have an effect on that car, just because, especially gaining speed on the straightaway. So he's really going to have to baby that car almost a little bit until he comes down pit road, and hopefully the pit crew is able to make an adjustment to either fix it or even just make it a little bit more steady for him to handle through the S's.
Might be hearing more from Taylor, I would say, Sean, perhaps, because pit window will be open this time for drivers to make it to the end. That being said, things have gone a little bit strung out here, so I do wonder if the leaders will try and run it a bit deep in the run so they don't have to fight traffic when they come out of the pits.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, Sam. I'm on the Dylan Jones and Ethan Moore, though. Oh, Moore gets really slow through the inner loop there, and Dylan Jones just plows right into him. I mean, he got on the brakes hard. It winds up being a rather soft tap, but Dylan Jones picks up more damage on the front end of the car. Look at this on the replay. And we're going to come all the way up the back straight here. It's going to go bad for Ethan Moore getting into the S's. He's just going to get on the binders here. Maybe he felt like he was losing the car. He has to get on him hard, and when he does, Dylan Jones right there. And again, more damage to the front end of the car. That can't help. He's going to have to watch his gauges now, as that damage on the grill could mean rising temperatures here before we get to the pit stop. He may need to bring it in soon.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite surprised he didn't bring it in that lap. Maybe he wants to go another lap to make sure it's safe on fuel.
It's safe, yeah.
Yeah. However, that incident brings up another point here, Sean. This series has not been afraid to throw caution flags if wrecks have gotten ugly. These drivers need to consider that there could be another yellow. In that case, maybe you do want a short pit, because the last thing you want to have happen is everyone else pit and you're still out there with not enough fuel to get to the end when the caution comes out.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem, isn't it, Sam? That makes it hard to win a race when that happens to you.
So what do you do if you're Justin Bolton?
Washington and Moore. Something's happening Moore.
Yeah, I say coming now. Caution now.
Out of the carousel, Moore just loses it. I don't think he had any help. Maybe we're going to watch it on the replay. It's the IRAPS Toyota there, the number 23, coming through the carousel here on your replay.
So you mentioned,
does he just lose the grip? He does. Oh, and he overcorrected, Sam. The car started to come around. He overcorrects and it's hard into that tire barrier. Wow.
Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton showed us in the past how ugly a hit there can be. Fortunately, no one got into the back of him. Bolton was going through the final corner when that incident took place, Sean. Now, I don't know how many spotters he has, but if he had one, he probably would have been saying, come in the pits, come in the pits. But the caution came out before Bolton would have got there. So, obviously, this... Oh, wow. One car in the grass behind the pace car there, but recovers. Obviously, this caution is a golden opportunity for these drivers to pit and be able to make it to the end.
Yeah.
The only exception, Sean, is what if they can make it to the end now just because of a caution?
I think that's a tough ask. I think the only one that legitimately has a shot of pulling that off might be Kyle Kammerer. I don't think the rest. You can save some fuel, but I don't think you can save that much fuel. So what's going on here? Why did Bolton jump ahead of the pace car there?
Sometimes on iRacing, I think a driver does that when they want to play with their settings, just so they're not bunched up with the other cars while they're not paying attention.
That's true. Very well could be the case. But, Sam, 2 turns here. We're going to kind of determine the fate of these drivers. As I do expect everybody to come in. Maybe not Kyle Kammerer. Maybe Kammerer takes his car to the front while everybody else comes in. And there they go. Taylor, what do you got?
Well, it looks like the entire field is coming down pit road. Justin Bolton leading them down pit road. Andrew Farrinaz in second, Ryan Hill third, Gabriel Wood in fourth. They're all trying to get to their pit box. Dylan Jones, hopefully they might be able to get that car repaired so that way he can make one final effort as they all enter their pit box nice and smooth. Let's see if David Washington hits his pit. He hits his pit, but it looks like the number 55, Ryan Hill, missed his box by a little bit, so that might cause some issues for him later on. We're going to keep an eye on Justin Bolton, see if he wins the race off pit road. Currently, we're all good. No one has made the effort. And it's Andrew Farrinaz wins the race off pit road, followed by Justin Bolton, Gabriel Wood, Dylan Jones. And I believe Gary Sexton was able to beat off David Washington. Nope, they gave the spot to David. So an exhilarating race going on right now off for pit road.
Dylan Jones, very interesting here, Sean. He should have not gained positions because he really overshot his pit stall. I wonder if after he overshot his pits... No, he did do 4 tires.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He didn't get any damage repaired, though, because that car still looks the same. So maybe not handling as bad as I thought. Certainly, you'd have to think you better watch the gauges, though, over what will probably be the last 14 laps of this race.
Now, all the lead lap cars came in that time by. You saw Ray Richard driving around to get a lap back, so he's now only 21 laps down.
Now, Sam, very, very important here. There's no delay on this caution. The lights are out on the pace car, so we're getting ready to go back to racing as they now make their way out of the carousel here. Just a couple of turns left to get this thing going again. So we will restart the race with 15 laps to go. And here we go. It's going to be our new leader, Andrew Farrinaz, being chased by Justin Bolton. They will restart single file. Gabe Wood restarts third. Dylan Jones in fourth. Washington fifth. Gary Sexton sixth. Ryan Hill seventh. Andrew Payne eighth, ninth. Eric Stanford and Jesse Abraham completing the top 10. Our big mover in this race now. Stanford up 11 spots. He sits in ninth. Here we go. Roof pace car. The Porsche is off. Andrew Farrinaz is not that quick to get off the start there, and that keeps Justin Bolton right on his tail as they head down to the 90. Bolton's going to dive it in there. He's going to break late. He's going to be able to hold on. Looking for the grip. Can't find it. Farnyards has got it. He's going to get up to the S's first.
Wow, so not like he was able to do on the previous caution. Remember, Bolton was able to get by Farnyards going into turn 1 last time by not able to do that this time. In fact, Bolton is really struggling. He's got pressure from behind. Look at Dylan Jones.
Yeah, I know. Sam, here comes Dylan Jones. Whoa, where did he come from? Beat up car and all. Oh, Farnyards cuts the interloop there. I guess it wasn't a slowdown penalty.
Well, sometimes it's difficult to serve a slow down through the carousel. He might have to do one on the back straight here. Nope, still going full speed.
I don't see him letting up. I guess it wasn't a cut course. It sure looked pretty close. Farnyards, though, off to a great start, man. He's got the tongue hanging out on that Ford right now, and the Fusion makes his way here to the final turn. He's going to lead another lap here on this restart. 14 laps to go here at the line. Bolton just can't catch him right now, Sam.
Yeah, Farnyards won Sonoma. He definitely has not been the class of the field tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been the top 5 car, but he was second fastest in practice. He only qualified 5th. This is the first time we've really seen him running out front. I thought Bolton would have been able to dispose of him on the restart. That hasn't been the case. Farnyards, though, the rear end of his car was stepping it out in the S's. We've seen that end south for a few drivers so far early today. He is really pushing in the closing stages here. And Bolton, now that Bolton's broke away from Jones, will he be able to run him down this lap?
Sam, another driver in the field that's picking up spots. Jesse Abraham just picked up a spot from Andrew Payne. That is a 4-car wedge right there. I know, Camera is around. Richard Regan Jr. makes contact with Camera. They both get into each other. No caution yet as they're off to the side of the carousel.
Yeah, it's off the racing line, and it's a slower portion of the circuit because of the inner loop that was installed ahead of it after...
Sorry, Sam. On the replay here, there's Regan there. He's going to make that little bit of contact there with Camera, and then Camera, of course, spins around. Regan nowhere to go. So maybe Camera had the last laugh on that one, but it does result in him taking the car to the pit lane, and that was not the plan.
Way off the racing line there, you saw Mark McFadden in the 48 car. That will cost him a position.
All right, now Bolton has caught Farnyards now here up front, Sam. This has turned into a race again.
Yeah, Farnyards, I mean, he's both of these drivers have really been pushing it since green flag dropped a few laps ago. I've seen them sliding the rear ends around. These tyres have just got to last another 12 more laps around here. These two are cleared ahead of Dylan Jones in the beat and battered number 16 car by about a second. But catching Farnyards is one thing, passing is another. Even though he hasn't led it today until now, Farnyards is a fast car, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bit tougher for Bolton to pass what he was on that restart a couple of restarts ago. Carl Kemmer, lap car, comes out into the pit, out of the pit.
Oh, right, man. Yeah, right into Jones. Wow.
Yeah, that's not going to help Jones's chances of running down the top 2. Fortunately, Gabe Wood in 4th place is far behind him.
And Farnyards is really starting to get it together, man. That was the fastest lap of the race, a 1:14 flat. Only driver to have done it.
Yeah, that's faster than Farnyards went in practice or qualifying. They wish he had the time like that earlier. Would have made his race a bit easier.
He's the rabbit on the rail right now, being chased by the Greyhound of Justin Bolton. And all over the mirror of Andrew Farnyards. That's all he can see back there is that black and white car tracking him. So he's motivated, Sam, to keep putting down these really, really fast laps. Does he do it again? No, that was a little bit slower that time, but he's still down in the 114s. Bolton, though, a little bit faster that time, a little bit closer. May have a run at him here up the S's. Maybe we'll see some action on the backstretch.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too far back, honestly. These cars have enough power that they don't depend too much on the slipstream as, say, if you were watching a spec race, a Ford race, or Miata race up the hill here. Oh! Wow!
Farnyard started losing it. Yeah, Farnyard.
Bowen's trying to let him gather it up, but they just let Dylan Jones have the lead.
Wow. Wow, what a big development. Farnyard started losing the rear end of the car, and now the caution's out.
Yeah, the Bowen was trying to do, you know, the sportsman-like thing, say, oh,
Yeah,
I messed up,
yeah.
I'll let you go. But the thing he completely forgot is, hey, there's the drivers racing behind you.
You know, honestly, I saw Farnyard's car starting to lose it there off the exit of the inner loop. He hit those curbs bad. He hit that curb to the right there on the exit bad. That got the car out of shape. We're going to go on board here and watch from behind with Justin Bolton, but that car is already starting to go around when Bolton gets there. Honestly, if Farnyard's hits that clean, continues on, we've still got a close race with those 2-1-2. Right
the caution was thrown quickly enough, though, that Dylan Jones is yielding the positions. It looks like, yeah, he's yielding it to Bolton as well. The caution came out before Jones got by them, so top three remains the same.
Well, opportunity. Cautions breed opportunity for guys, you know, certainly at the front. I'm sure Farnyard's happy to see that caution be thrown. Now he's going to get back to the front, and we'll get back to racing here pretty quickly, Sam. As I don't expect anybody to go into the pit here on this stop or on this caution.
No one's going to come into caution. Come into the pits under caution. At least none of the front runners should. And it's going to be a quick caution. I should imagine the pace car lights will go off this time by. The problem, Sean, is that will start and happen more and more with Farnyards. It's going to happen again, I think.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, listen, he's got a hot shoe behind him, okay? And, well, he's, by iRating, the second hottest shoe in here tonight as far as road racers go. But, listen, Farnyard's under a lot of pressure here, and he is, you know, he's got a chance to pull off a big win tonight on the road course. But again, that pressure could get the best of him. It started to get the best of him right there at the end of that run. I absolutely believe
they all are coming in. I'm sorry, Sean.
Oh,
they
man.
want tires.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's going to want tires on this, so let's see what happens. Andrew Farnars is going to be leading them down pit road. Looks like a couple of drivers are going to stay out, though, Richard Regan and Jesse Abraham. But the main focus is going to be on those top three. Farnars in his pit bucket. Bolton, Jones. This is going to be a battle for pit road as Farnyard now exits pit road and is out already. Seeing who else joins. I don't even know if he pitted. He just came in for a brief second and then was out in a hurry. As next, Gary Sexton, and then the 98 of David Washington, then Justin Bolton, and then Wood, and then it looked like the 55 of Ryan Hill came out. So some interesting strategy calls. I would kind of want to know what Andrew came up with, what his strategy was.
Is that a fake out or something? I don't know. I don't get it. The drivers that did stay out, Jesse Abraham, Richard Regan, Mark McFadden, all up at the front now, and the lights are out on the pace car. So it's time to go. The roof leading them down to the inner loop now. Again, it's going to be Jesse Abraham that's at the front of this field to get restarted. So is Richard Regan Jr. They're okay on fuel. They'll make it to the end. The question is, are they going to be able to hold off the fresh tires of what's going on behind them? Andrew Farnyards just pulled a big wild card on us, so we don't really know what's going on there. Does he have a enough left to get around the 3 in front of him. I think he does. I think it's going to be a tricky restart, though. We've got a few cars here at the front that have absolutely spent no time up here tonight, Sam.
Yeah, I apologize for the break there, Sean. I'm trying to get this all down in my notes because there's going to be a couple of... These drivers are just giving us questions to ask them for the post-race show.
Well, I hear Vegas is giving some pretty short odds on caution coming out again, so you're going to have to spend a lot of money to make very, very little, because yellow laundry is still going to be a factor here. As the pace car gets ready to pull off, the roof is off. Jesse Abraham back to the loud pedal and restarts the Paradigm 150 with 8 laps to go. Your new leader, Jesse Abraham. Richard Regan, Farnyar's already making a move down into the 90. Takes the inside. Going to get by and get through clean. Farnyar is battling with Regan up through the S's. Farnyar is going to get the advantage. He gets ahead, but it's Jesse Abraham with a great restart, still on point as he heads down the backstretch, Sam.
McFadden has been dropping through the pack like a rock, and there were a couple of really close calls in the S's. Jesse Abraham got a really nice launch on the start, but Farnyar's was able to do what he needed to do, and Bolton able to do it too as he jumps up into 3rd place, and that is clear that traffic and try and run Abraham down. And now, Farnyar's has got to find a way by Abraham before Bolton can catch him, because Bolton is faster. And the caution is out.
We're going to caution again.
David Washington over in the carousel.
I think Washington might have got a little help from Dylan Jones. They were really close together on the track into the carousel. It could just be a situation of one out breaking the other, but no, right there was Dylan Jones getting in a little bit hot, not able to hold it down there on the bottom. It gets Washington around. Brings out another caution here. And I said you're going to need long odds. Apparently that damaged pretty bad at Washington driving through the grass right now. Here on the replay, though, you see the view from Cameron's hood, and he's able to check up in time without getting more damage on his car. So, Sam, another caution flag, and, well, I guess we called it right before the restart there. That wouldn't be surprised to see another one, but this drags things out a little bit more.
Yeah, of course, this race will end under green, even if it doesn't end under green in iRacing conditions. We'll get to those green-white checkered rules if it happens. The fortunate thing about these cautions here is they've only been 2 laps long. Meanwhile, Dylan Jones being sent to the tail end. I'm assuming that's for triggering that latest incident. Jesse Abraham has made his bed. He's got the lead. Yes, Farnyar's and Bolton could definitely challenge him for that top spot, but I think his goal at that point would be to just keep on fighting, try and pull a top 5 out of this.
Taylor, you got a little something for us down there?
We got to keep in mind that there could be another caution, and Jesse Abraham is still the leader. So if he's able to hold off both Farnyar's and Bolton, if another caution comes out, he might have the opportunity to be able to hold off for them if we have a green-white checker situation. So Jesse Abraham might have made an interesting strategy call to where he could maybe even win the race.
I'll tell you what, I'm kind of with you on that, Taylor. Abraham right now, this could be a tremendous opportunity for him to steal one away tonight, and maybe even with faster drivers behind him. But we'll see here as we get ready to get restarted. We get the lights out on the pace car this time. I would imagine we'll get restarted with 5 laps to go. 5 magic laps here at the Glen.
Just a couple of drivers at the tail end of the field coming in the caution there. A few drivers faking, but with this fewer laps left in the race, I had the feeling that was all for naught. See, here's my concern, Sean. I feel that doing this run, yes, Jesse Abraham could easily hold on to the lead if there's a caution going up a hill and restart with the lead for green-white checkered. The problem is in this series, once the green-white checkered flies, they can't throw a caution at that point. They're racing to the line. And so at that point, Abraham would have to hold off Farnyards and Bolton for 2 laps to get the checkered flag. And unless he's able to really get an awesome launch off a restart, which, to his credit, he got a fairly decent one last time by, I'm not sure he has the pace in that number 97 machine to hold those guys off. But we'll see if he can prove me wrong. That's why we run the races.
Sexton, you know, with some pretty good strategy himself, he sits back in 5th. He might have made some good decisions. He's got a chance here at the top 5. As long as he can keep Ryan Hill, Andrew Payne from staying off his back door, Sexton with a chance. He was feeling really confident heading into the night. And, boy, that confidence is showing right now with that 5th place on the restart here. The roof pace car takes us back around the track. Jesse Abraham looking at these last 2 turns, getting ready to restart this race, thinking about his strategy, thinking about checkers. Victory lane. He's got to get through the last 5 laps. Richard Regan back there heating up the tires, getting ready to go. A lot of damage on the front end of that Ford. They'll be hard-pressed to be able to fight at full strength. Abraham's car certainly far from perfect. A little bit of damage on it, but the Ford Fusion leads the pack around. Farnyard's right behind him in his Fusion. The pace car pulls off. Here we go, Sam. Crank backed up at the Paradigm. 155 laps to go. Abraham across the line first. Bolton already fighting out of the inside of Farnyard's. Looking to take the turn 1 pass, and he does. Farnyard's way too wide on the exit. And that opens it up for Bolton, who's all over Abraham here early as they come out of the S's and start to head up the backstretch. Bolton's going to have a run.
Yeah, Farnyard's basically our race lead. Abraham was being used as a pick there on Farnyard's. Bolton tries to make outside work, and wow, big moment. Abraham sliding, trying to save it, trying to drift, cutting through the grass. He'll get slowed down for that. He loses the lead, but he holds on to the car somehow. Bolton goes by. Farnyard's back down to 2nd, and it was just great driving and opportunity by Bolton in the first corner that once again enabled him to get by Farnyard's, which was ultimately for the lead in the win of this race.
And a big battle here. Ryan Hill sending it, trying to get 2 for 1 here. He gets on the inside of Richard Regan to make contact door to door. Regan out into the grass. Hill going to take those 2 spots, throw himself up in a 4th. Sexton still hanging on the 5th.
And Dylan Jones gets turned behind him. Hard into camera. No cautions out.
And the caution's back out, Sam.
All right, now this is going to be interesting, Sean, because the leaders... Well, let's see. Will they let the pace car pass the leaders here? Well, as we watch, this is what happened. Abraham back in the inner loop.
Yeah, he was just all out of shape there. Does a great job, though, getting it back onto the track and getting back to the grip there. He's able to hold on to that 3rd spot.
Yeah,
he goes back to 3rd. I'm sorry, he goes back to 3rd, but is able to hold on to 3rd. He got it.
So this is Dylan Jones in 16. He got turned by a red car. I think it was Ray Richer behind him there. No, it was the car behind. Oh yeah, he just got ahead of a 93, and so that was.
Payne. Yeah. Well, Sam, all of a sudden,
Andrew Payne has been sent to the tail end of a lead lap for the restart.
All of a sudden, this has turned into a bit of a slog. Unfortunately, Kyle Kammer, too much damage for him to continue. He has taken the car behind the wall and done for the night. And Kammer, we were just talking about Kammer being up towards the front with a chance in this thing, and a rather quick ending there for him on that last run. So
yeah, and one thing I wanted to pay attention to as soon as the caution came out, Sean, was whether with the leaders just having completed the lap, would the pace car pull out in front of them or not? It did not. The pace car sat stationary for a whole lap around. What does that mean? Well, it means if the pace car had picked them up last lap, we would be going green at the completion of this lap, lap 48, and have a 2-lap shootout. That's not going to happen now.
No.
We're either going to get the 1 to go sign this time by, and we'll have a 1-lap shootout to the end, or the officials are going to say, no, we're not going to do a 1-lap shootout. They're going to add a lap of caution, and we'll just have a top 10 for green-white checkered. Either way, we have seen the last caution of this race. Unless they throw the caution during a 1-lap shootout.
Sam? I like Dylan Jones. I'm sorry, Dylan Jones. I like Justin Bolton's chances on a restart. Now, we haven't seen... I'm trying to remember. That's where I was stumbling. Have we seen him restart yet tonight? Has Bolton restarted from the point?
I don't think he's restarted from the point, but just judging from the restarts he's been getting while running in 4th and 2nd and 3rd, and the fact he's been able to lead soon thereafter, I have a feeling he shouldn't have any difficulty getting his car up to speed here.
And that's where I'm starting to think that this 1-lap shootout's just not even a factor. I think he'll get off to a good enough start that may just make it impossible for Farnyards to even get close to getting in the toe, and maybe with a shot to make a move down the back stretch, because you run out of him real quickly after that.
Not seeing the officials add the lap of caution.
No, the lights are out, buddy. It's time to go.
Yeah, the lights were always going to come out because iRacing was going to tell the pace car to turn its lights off. I wondered if the officials would say, no, 1 more lap of caution. Now, this does beg a question, Sean, of if we see a pile up on the last lap, will the officials throw the yellow flag and give us a green-white checkered? Well, that would be odd, wouldn't it? They go from a 1-lap shootout and abort that and then give it a 2-lap shootout.
Yeah, man, I don't know here, Sam. It's kind of strange how this is going to play out, because when they release the hounds, there's going to be 2 laps to go. That's what I'm showing on time. Well, no, maybe my timing and scoring is not right. It's not. 1 lap to go. I'm sorry, Sam. I guess I just wasn't listening to anything you said. Yeah, no. So it's going to be 1 lap, obviously. Sam, I think we get to finish this race under that green. We get to a checker.
I hope so. I mean, a couple, like I said at the top of this broadcast, I thought they would only be throwing cautions manually if a track really got clogged up. The last couple of wrecks have been towards the tail end of the field and haven't blocked the circuit, but they've still thrown it from a competition standpoint. Honestly, I think as far as the final lap is concerned, all bets are off. If someone spins at the back of the field, see you at the finish line in 30 seconds, buddy.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Let's get ready. I'm excited. 1 lap to go. The roof pace car approaching turn 8, and it will peel off this track one last time. Justin Bolton, it's all up to you, my friend. There goes the roof. And there goes Justin Bolton. He didn't wait at all. No waiting for anything. Bolton on the hammer quick. Farnyards with a good restart to his credit. He got off there, got off good. Look at that, the 0-0. Gabe Wood getting side by side with Gary Sexton back there battling for 5th.
Ryan Hill gave Jesse Abraham a little bump for 3rd, going through turns 1 and 2. Abraham did a nice job to hold on to it.
Yeah, Abraham still hanging on. Sexton finally getting passed by Wood. That was right in the last part of the S's there. Sexton looking for an opportunity in the draft. Look at that, Abraham fighting back.
Oh, he's
he got bad.
Yeah, there he goes. Hill goes by. Farnyards doesn't have anything for Bolton up front, though.
No, he doesn't, Sam. I feared that. Back to Bolton. Here he comes. Still leading this race. Farnyards half a second. And Sam, it's almost done and dusted. We've got one turn left to go. The Paradigm 150 here at Watkins Glen International. Farnyards with one last attempt. No, it's not going to be enough because Justin Bolton is going to come across your leader and your winner tonight here in the AdPro 360 Cup Series. Farnyards with a second place finish. Ryan Hill third. Gabe Wood's going to get around Jesse Abraham right there at the line. And he'll finish fourth. And Abraham will have to settle for a top five. Sam, what a race. A little bit confusing there at the end, but we got it in, my friend. That being said, we're going to take a quick break here on the Global Sim Racing channel, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we are back here at Watkins Glen International. Wow, the SSCA Cup Series, the AdPro 360 Cup Series, just wrapped up another killer race. And boy, tonight was just full of adventure. A few caution flags here towards the end, but we get it in. Let's go to the results. Justin Bolton, your winner. The Carolinian there gets to the top and pretty impressive there at the end on the restart. Andrew Farnyards just couldn't catch him there in second. Ryan Hill winds up third place, finishes out on the podium. Jesse Abraham there in fourth. Gabe Wood fifth. Great race for Gabe. Richard Regan, sixth place for him. How about Eric Stanford? Barely talked about the New Yorker in his home state. I mean, the home track for Eric practically, and he finishes seventh. He started 20th in this field tonight. Eighth place going to go to Gary Sexton. It could have been a top five. Got a little roughed up there at the end, unfortunately. Dylan Jones, talk about roughed up. He is certainly the recipient, and ninth place is the best it gets for him. Andrew Payne will round out your top 10. Taylor.
All right, well, we got in 11th place Mark McFadden, followed by David Washington in the 12th position. Daniel Jackson in that number 84 will round out in 13th. The first car one lap down. Kyle Cameron will finish 14th, followed by Ethan Moore, who had a very rough night tonight in that number 23 Toyota. Ray Richard will finish in the 16th position, followed by Ellery Queen in 17th. 18th will go to Judd Danielson, followed by Luis Salamosa in 19th, Alan Elwood in 20th, William Locklear in 21st, and Josh Bonwell will come home in 22nd.
Okay, getting news now here from the league. So everybody, adjust your scorecards at home. Justin Bolton has been black flagged for jumping the restart. Your top three are going to now be the 88 Farnyard is going to get the win. Ryan Hill second. Jesse Abraham completes the podium. So as we get ready to go to interviews here, we will now go to Ryan Hill, who had a pretty great race himself. Ryan, the Hill Coast Chevrolet, was hooked up enough tonight to finish on the podium. Second place we're hearing now. Congratulations.
Yeah, I kind of thought the restart at the end was a little sketchy, but, you know, I'm happy with second. Could have had one better, but, you know, Jesse had to do what he had to do to get some points, and I just couldn't get around him as quick as I needed to.
Well, hey, listen, we talked about in the pre-race about the challenges of this track, and I actually ran a practice race with you guys on Sunday night. A little tricky out here on this fixed set, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it drove terrible. It's literally probably the worst fixed setup I've ever driven, and God, how long have I been on iRacing? Almost 10 years on iRacing, probably easily the worst setup I've ever driven. That's about as best as I can say it.
I think you're being kind. Hey, Ryan, as we look forward, you're going to get a couple weeks off here in the Cup Series. What do you do to get ready for the next one?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know, because I do help out the league for the Wednesday nights stuff. So, I mean, I'm still going to be part of the league, just doing admin duties for the Wednesday nights. But as far as the Cup race, I don't even know where we're racing at, to be honest. Next,
Michigan.
But Michigan. Oh,
yes.
God, you had to say Michigan.
Yes, I did.
I've had a little bit of luck at Michigan in the past. You know, that's one of those tracks where it's another tire saver track, so you got to be able to be good on long runs. I think we've proven that this 55 car can be really fast on long runs. It's just staying out of trouble. So we'll probably go in there with the same mindset we had the whole year, starting the back, just, you know, let the race play out in our hands and be there at the end.
Well, Ryan, anybody you'd like to thank real quick before we let you go, buddy?
Well, you know, obviously, just thank everybody. It's been helping me out this year. Everybody at CCR, the small group of guys at Aegis, Hilco Disposal and Recycling for their sponsorship, everybody at the 55 camp, Gary for putting on the league, and you guys for putting on a great broadcast. It's always fun to go back and watch it. And, you know, just it's going to be fun.
All right, Ryan, congratulations. Again, a great finish for him. He'll wind up second tonight. Taylor has caught up with Jesse Abraham, who found himself at the front of this race late. Taylor, take it away.
And we're here now with Jesse Abraham. Jesse, you had quite an interesting last few laps during this race tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of found myself in a position I was not expecting. I took tires on the first caution to put myself off sequence, and I didn't know it'd actually pay off that way. I was outside the top 10 until that caution came out and everybody pitted. Me and Richard, my teammate, were like, if everybody pits, we're going to stay out. So we did, and almost had enough cautions to keep me out front there. Overdrove the inner loop there towards the end, but the 7 and 88 were both way faster than me, so I was just happy to be up there. First laps led this year, too, so that's cool.
Very good. Congratulations for leading those laps. Do you think if we had another caution come out right before you had your incident through the bus stop, that you could probably been able to hold off those two leaders of Bolton and Farnyards?
I'm not really sure, because it was really overdriving the inner loop there that kind of messed me up. I think if I would have kept it together there, but then I would have needed other cautions, because down the short chute you get wicked runs on fresher tires. Like I was right there at the end, the last lap, they were all over me, mostly because of the older tires, and you saw how that went.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Older tires do not seem to work well here tonight. But congratulations again on a top 3 finish. So you're looking forward to Michigan in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, Michigan's my home track. Usually the luck that I have there is similar to what I have here, or had tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Excited for the high speeds, though.
All right, well, congratulations, Jesse, for a top 3 finish, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at Michigan.
Thanks. See you there.
All right, and that was Jesse Abraham. Great night for him, and I've caught up with Gabe Wood, my old friend, Gabe Wood. Gabe, that's a pretty solid run at Watkins Glen. You'll take a 5th place, won't you?
I'll take a 4th, actually, because...
That's right, you got a 4th. I'm sorry, everybody moved up one.
Yeah! Woo! Got a free spot and I didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a fun race to watch. How much fun was it to drive?
Very fun, actually. The setup's pretty similar driving to Infineon Sonoma, which is the race I didn't even run because I gave up on that setup because I already don't like Sonoma Raceway, and with a bad setup, that place is evil. So, but I love Watkins Glen, and I wanted to run this race to get a little bit of practice, running around these guys for the B-Car Series, the Challenger Series. So, yeah, I'm extremely happy with that, considering going sideways in the S's on lap 3. I think that was a pretty good recovery.
Gabe, did the green line work?
Sean,
Okay,
I'm leaving this interview. I'm going to leave this interview. I will do it. I will do it. And to those of you who don't know, Sean Ambrose here made a joke that I should turn on the virtual driving line and maybe it'll point towards victory lane. So I may kill him in the near future.
Well, Gabe, I'll tell you what. We're all pulling for you, regardless of how you may really think about it. But we're all pulling for you, buddy. Listen, a lot of fun here at Watkins Glen. Like you said, you got a little time in the seat to prepare yourself for the Challenger race. And listen, seat time, very, very important this track because there are no gimmies here at Watkins Glen. For as tried and true and tested as this track is, and it's everybody's favorite road course on the iRacing service for every car, this track still holds a lot of adventure in it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, especially when you get a setup like this because you're not sure if you're going to be able to make it through a corner. I mean, it took me 10 or 15 minutes to figure out how to nail turn 1. And then for the rest of practice, I worked on the rest of the racetrack. Like, that's literally how it was. I'd come out and try and nail turn 1, couldn't do it. I'd come back around, wouldn't even worry about hitting the other corners, and try and master turn 1 again. Oh, I finally got it. All right, now to work on the S's. That's really how you had to attack it. But the car, the only evil part of the racetrack was in the bus stop. I don't know if you got how many cameras you got had on me, but there was about 5 or 6 times to where I'd jump on the brakes, and as soon as I get to second gear, the thing would start to step out, and I'd be left turning into a right-hander, which is not exactly fun.
We hadn't asked anybody about the brakes. How much adjusting were you doing with the brake bias during the race?
I found out moving it just a little bit far forward, not much, but just a little bit, it really helped it. And I was able to kind of figure that out. If I'd done a little bit more playing with it, I may have been able to find some more balance and maybe been able to charge the corners a little bit more. But coming off the corner was where I really struggled. And that's where, Freenars and Bolton and, even Hill, me and him were pretty much the same speed all night, but he was still just killing me coming out of the corner.
Well, man, thanks for the interview. Anybody you'd like to thank real quick?
Yeah. Want to, thank Snow Motorsports. We're kind of out of it for the rest of the year, but, we want to regroup and gather for next year. But, the Double H Ranch, I got them on the Cup car this weekend. It's a charity that our ARCA side really works with a lot. Our driver, Ed Pompa, he pays for the entire seat, the race by himself, and then asks the sponsors to donate to the charity. So I'm kind of doing the same thing here and doing like a little charitable effort this year. Half of everything that I win on iRacing is going to charity, going to Double H Ranch. So far I am at $200, I think, this year because I've run a couple of bigger races. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Just being able to donate to the Double H Ranch.
All right. Well, good stuff, man. We'll catch you in a couple weeks. We'll see you in the Challenger even sooner. I'll tell you what, real quickly, let's get Richard Regan in here. We'll get he's been up there waiting patiently. We'll get one in with him real quick. Richard, that's 2 exciting nights in a row for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Last night I wasn't really happy about that because I was having a really good run, but tonight was just 10 times worse than last night. It was all over the place.
The important question is, Richard, did you enjoy your iRacing experience this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically what happened was on the first pit stop, I went through too many boxes going in, so that gave me the penalty to start at the rear. And then it was just a huge mess back there, especially with the setup driving like a snowplow. And then I ended up getting in a wreck with somebody, and then I was down on horsepower from there on out. And then when everybody else pitted on that last caution, I said to Jesse going down the short chute, I said, if all these guys pit, we're staying out. And sure enough, they pitted and we stayed out, and that helped me a lot. I gained probably 4 spots on that.
Taylor, did you have something you wanted to ask him real quick?
No. Well, one of the things was what happened earlier. I noticed that you had some issues early on in the race. How were you able to recover all that with some strategies?
Which part?
I believe you had a couple of penalties early on in the race.
Yeah. I was just trying to be patient in the back, and because that happened at the end of the first stage, I believe. So I had the whole second stage to try to work my way up. I ended up getting in an incident with Ellery Queen, though. And that put me back. And so the whole stages after that, the last stage, the rest of the race, I was just trying to be really patient and pick my passes really, really smart so I wouldn't get the car more damaged.
All right. Well, it's good that you had a decent run tonight, and congratulations. Are you looking forward to what are you actually planning on doing these next 2 weeks off?
I'll be racing in real life.
Oh, where are you racing at?
We run the INX Tour at the Legend Cars and the Bandolero, so we'll be running Seekonk on Fridays, and then on the weekends we run all over New England and New York and Pennsylvania and stuff. So.
Aha. All right. And okay, one last question for me. Have you ever run Riverhead?
No, but I want to.
You absolutely want to, buddy. Nobody gets out alive. You remember that, Richard? That's one of the toughest bull rings in the Northeast, man.
Oh yeah, hey, Seekonk trains me for that. So
Seakonk's no walk in the park either. I've been to that track as well. Listen, hey, best of luck to you out there on track in the real world. We thank you for the interview, and we'll catch up with you here soon.
Thank you. I'd just like to give a quick shout out to my sponsors. Folds of Honor, they came on board with me as a charity. We donate to them a lot. It's to help military families pay for schooling. Amsoil, they came on board with me, my teammate Jesse, everybody at Gen X Racing, you guys at GSRC, LSR TV, Neonism, F1 Sim Games, and just everybody that makes this thing work.
All right, everyone, and that is Richard Regan Jr. Great interview with him this evening, and we again wish him the best of luck in his legend car as it competes in the INX series. Listen, everybody, we do want to remind you that today's race was brought to you by Paradigm Technology. We thank them for their sponsorship. You'll find out more about them at pdc.technology, or go on over to paradigmdevelopment.net. Now, Paradigm, Paradigm. Kind of a tricky word. We also want to thank AdPro 360. They are, of course, the title sponsor of the AdPro 360 Cup Series. And, they're an advertising agency specializing in digital and social media marketing. You want to check them out, go over to adproresults.com. They're on Twitter, Facebook, real easy to find. The Simulated Stock Car Association, everyone there, we must thank them for organizing this AdPro 360 Cup Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it on screen. Now are just some of the companies, equipment, and software that make this broadcast possible. That iconic music that lets your ears alert your eyes. You're watching a GSRC production. Comes courtesy of Eric Ekholm and June Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
And the SCCA Cup Series will return in 2 weeks on July 26th for round 15 from the Michigan International Speedway. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action, and we hope you guys will join us. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and make sure you mark them on your calendar. If you would like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it all at www.globalsimracingchannel.com. We are also on Twitter at GSRC Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel.
Okay, now real quickly, in case you missed the brief, qualifying is just wrapped up in the Lionheart Retro Series. Qualifying is just wrapped up. They're getting ready to start that race. Go on over to the GSRC main channel, click on the link, get in there, go watch the Retro Series. You do not want to miss this race from Michigan, and so you still have time to catch qualifying. Get on over there, take a look. But finally, on behalf of the crew tonight, Samuel Ryman, who's racing in that race, our director, Joe Peak, Taylor Burris for being down there on the pit lane and then coming on up into the booth. I'm sure he's winded. We want to thank him, especially our camera artist, Dougie Beard. I'd like to thank all of you for watching tonight. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track over at Michigan International Speedway right now.